Hello lovelies, in this video we're going to be covering quite a sensitive topic, which is genetic testing for your GCSE biology. So we're going to be looking at the science behind it, but then we're also going to be talking about the ethical and the social sides as well.
Genetic testing. Genetic testing involves the analysis of DNA to see if they carry alleles that cause genetic disorders. It can be done at any age or stage of life. Adults, for example, may want to know if they're carriers of a recessive allele so they can make informed decisions about whether or not they want to have children. Embryos and fetuses can be screened to check that they are healthy using genetic testing. This also allows parents to make decisions about how to continue with either IVF or with a pregnancy. So let's first look at embryo screening. This is done using the IVF process. So IVF is carried out where hormones are taken and then the sperm and eggs are collected and then fertilized in a petri dish to form an embryo. In fact, multiple embryos are formed this way. When the embryo has reached the 8-cell stage, a single cell is removed from each embryo and genetically tested. The DNA is extracted from the cell and analysed to look for any disease-causing alleles. Only embryos that don't have any alleles that cause genetic disorders are then implanted back into the uterus. Any that did contain the disease alleles will be destroyed. So this is an option for parents who know they have genetic disorders that they could pass on to their offspring. For example, if they know they are carriers of a disease. It is an advantage because it ensures that they can have a healthy child. As we said, it's done with multiple embryos. So embryos that are found to contain the disorder alleles are destroyed, and then any ones that don't and that are screened to be healthy are saved. So one will be implanted and then the rest will be frozen so that the parents have multiple opportunities at having healthy children. Testing during pregnancy. This happens between around 12 and 20 weeks. If there is an issue with a blood test or an ultrasound scan during a pregnancy, then a genetic test can be done to confirm if there's any issues and if the fetus is healthy. Because any issues could be caused by genetic disorders, so this is a way of checking for those. There's two different types. A sample of the fetus's blood could be taken, or a sample of the fluid, the amniotic fluid in the sac around the fetus can be taken. So a sample of blood from the placenta can be taken, which will include the fetus's blood as well as the mother's blood, or a sample of the amniotic fluid can be tested. This is known as amniocentesis. In both tests, a large needle must be inserted into the uterus. We need to be able to evaluate this use of genetic testing. So the main advantage of testing is that it allows parents to have healthy children. Or it allows parents to be able to make an informed choice about whether to terminate a pregnancy or not. This is obviously a choice that they can make, but obviously there are some genetic disorders where the children would not live for very long or they would have a very poor quality of life. So this is about making a choice to either have a baby that is affected by a genetic disorder or to not. There are some disadvantages to the testing methods. Testing during pregnancy, so inserting needles into the uterus, can increase the chance of a miscarriage. This is where the baby is lost midway through the pregnancy. The tests are expensive and they're not always covered by the NHS in this country. The results of the tests are not always 100% accurate or reliable. We can't know for sure that there definitely is or is not an issue when we do these tests. Also, removing a cell from the embryo, so in the 8-stage embryo, when we take a cell out for testing, that could cause damage as well. There are some people that have ethical and religious objections to the screening and testing of embryos and fetuses as well. One of the main reasons is they believe that no one should interfere with the natural process of reproduction. And the other issue is that destroying embryos or terminating pregnancies is seen as destroying a potential life. For adults and children who have genetic disorders, though, and are living with them, although there's no cure currently, there are new gene therapy treatments currently being trialled all over the country, in fact, all over the world. This is where the allele causing the disease could be replaced with one that is functioning. Or it could be switched off, so its expression could be stopped to let the other copy of the allele in the cell work instead. This relies on us knowing exactly which alleles are causing the genetic disorder. We can only do that through genetic testing. And it also relies on us being able to deliver the gene or allele or a drug that changes the gene expression to all of the cells in the body that are affected. In the case of something like cystic fibrosis, we may only be able to get treatment into the lungs using like an inhaler, and we might not be able to fix any problems in the pancreas, for example, because this is the really hard part, because with genetic disorders, the mutation in the allele is in every single cell of the body. So it does make it hard to treat. And any treatment is not going to change the gametes of that person, so they are able to still pass on their genetic disorder to their offspring.
Ouch! This is why in some videos I explain scratches.